now. Right, so we're recording. So welcome everybody. Lovely to see you here tonight. Got some people that are live, some people may be joining as time goes on, and some of you may be catching up on replay. So let me introduce myself. I'm Clare Farthing and I'm a coach and mentor for women in business. I live down in a lovely coastal town and village called Lymington, which is down in Hampshire. With views across to the Isle of Wight when I go and do my little coastal walks with my woofer dog, which I love doing. So I just really wanted to give you a bit of background, really, for the ones of you that don't know and haven't met me before. Laura very kindly, and I'm very grateful, invited me on to share with her community, obviously, a little bit about my area of expertise. I'm absolutely passionate about goal setting and find it imperative as business owners to really focus on your planning as well, and reviewing obviously your year and your months and your quarters, etc. So just in terms of where Laura and I met, we both actually were part of our own previous business coach community. So a little bit like you lovely ladies and gentlemen that mix with each other already. We met in a similar community where we were there both as the paying members, if you like. And it was an amazing opportunity. We got on really well. At the time, I was actually a virtual assistant because I was a PA in the corporate world. I'd been made redundant 3 times in a row. So it became a little bit of a no-brainer for me of thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with my life? People keep banging on about the joys of having your own business, having the flexibility and that time freedom. And I was a bit like, yes, that is what I want. I'm fed up with the corporate world. I'm fed up with the JOB. Wasting time having interviews with recruitment agencies to no avail and being, one of hundreds of people applying for jobs. So I took the leap of faith in 2015. And that's when I met Laura in the Facebook group for our business coach and mentor. And I was really looking to take on some support with new clients, and Laura was looking to outsource her email marketing at the time. And that was for her party business. So we had a Skype call, we hit it off straight away. I immediately sent Laura away with some great tips and tasks, which I know she shared within some of her community. And I think actually Elizabeth, who's on the call at the moment, has probably been privy to those in recent years as well. So we've been knowing each other for a few years. And we've both really hugely grown in what we've been doing. And obviously, Laura in a very different vein now. And so do I. And I'm very, very proud of what she's achieved so far and what she's achieving. And it's a real privilege and a pleasure for me to be here today, collaborating with her. And I'm sorry she's not on the call, but she's having too much fun in Australia, lucky lady. And we're not jealous at all, are we? No. So that's a little bit about me and our relationship with Laura. And how I work myself personally is I'm actually working with women in business, mainly local, face-to-face, really helping them move forward in their business. So I help them with goal setting and then what tasks and what actions they need to be taking to make sure that they're showing up, they're adding value to their community, and they're actually being visible, and they're doing that consistently. So that's really where I work from. I've got clients that are anything from startup businesses who are looking to launch brand new products or services. And I also have got a couple of clients actually well into their business. So one of my clients I'm working with at the moment is actually 11 years into her business, and she's got 2 businesses and is a single mum. So she juggles like there is no juggling beyond belief. She's an amazing lady, a real go-getter, and basically now we're working on a mentoring basis. So I kick her butt when she gives me those excuses about life's too busy and this happened and that happened. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That was yesterday. What are we doing today? And I keep her on that focused path to make sure she's getting the best out of herself, and that obviously includes looking after herself and then moving forward with her business to make sure it's growing in the right direction that she wants, so that she can earn the income she wants to give her the time freedom to spend with her beautiful daughter and her crazy golden retriever. And that's kind of where we're at in terms of the clients that I'm working with. So yeah, so there we go. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually share my screen. Hopefully everybody's got their workbook printed out and in front of them. Can you give me a thumbs up, Elizabeth? Have you got your workbook? Yes, brilliant. Okay, Lisa's just joined, but she's disappeared, so I'm trusting that she's got one as well. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, share. It's always that thing where you think, how do I actually share my screen in reality? So we'll basically go through the workbook. So if we go on to the first page, what I want to talk to you today is obviously about planning and why I do 90-day planning. There's a great quote which I've popped on there, and you've got the space to write underneath any notes that you find useful from what I'm sharing with you today. So very much, if you think about it logically, a plan without a goal is just a dream. So we have these amazing, wonderful ideas in our life about dreaming big, what we want to do, where we want to go. But actually, if we don't write it down and visualize it, and then actually work out some actionable tasks to how we're going to achieve that goal, it doesn't really mean anything. Okay, so what I say and how I pitch it to people is it's really giving us the foundations for your business success, because without them, quite frankly, a business would fail. And for me personally, my life would be chaos. I actually rule my life and my diary by 90-day planning. And if you haven't heard of 90-day planning before, then let me just touch on what 90-day planning is. It basically allows you the flexibility and the fluidity to be able to work in 90-day batches, if you like. So if you think about the quarters, some people sort of do the 3-month or the 4-month. So we're working in 90 days. So what we'll actually do is we will look at where we want to get to down the line, a fixed date, like a deadline, like a target date or a project date, or it could be a seasonal date, whatever is suitable for your business, whether it's a product business or whether it's a service business. Okay, so what we do is we then use those foundations and those daily tasks that we set to help us get to that goal. And for me, it all starts with you, because I've got a great hashtag, you are your business, because without you being totally at ease with yourself, fully energized, being relaxed, having fun, eating well, sleeping well, doing something that you are absolutely passionate about, that makes you on a Monday morning think, yes, this is what I'm doing today, this is who I'm working with, or this is the products that I'm creating, then in reality, you're not going to be very positive in that area, because you're going to be overtired, you're not eating properly, you're not getting the right exercise, you're heading for burnout perhaps. Where actually, if you set your own goals and look after yourself initially, and make sure you've got that self-care going on, those little coffee trips, yoga, Pilates, the gym, the run, whatever your thing is, quietly reading, crocheting, knitting, woodwork, basketball, football, you name it. If you're got that balance where you're doing your exercise and you're feeling on top form, naturally you are then going to be showing up and being present with your beautiful family and your loved ones and your friends, and they're going to get a better version of you. Okay, and then equally after that, you're going to be showing up for your business clients or customers, again based on you starting with you and your self-care. So that's where me, Clare Farthing, works from. That's the place I work from as such. I am all about you or your business. So with 90-day planning, it's really a case of, yes, you can have a look at 5 years to have a rough idea of where you want to go in your business. But in reality, we all know we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay. And by wasting a lot of time mapping out huge strategic marketing plans for 5 years' time and 10 years' time, to me personally, I think it's an absolute waste of your time and your effort. Okay. So if you've got 90-day goals where you're just looking at 3 months in advance, the likelihood is you'll pretty much stay on track. But even then, there will be goals that you will set, whether they're for you personally, for your family, or for your business, that will change. Things evolve, we start going off on this amazing journey in one direction, and then suddenly something will happen out of the blue, and it could be anything from a health issue, something to do with your partner, a family, or it could be something to do with actually your business itself. And actually with your business itself is probably the key driver when goals can change, is that actually you realize, because you're quite new in your business, God, I love working with these people, or I prefer creating those products. So naturally, the original goals that you may have set no longer serve you, if that makes sense. So you end up thinking, okay, I don't need this goal anymore. And by reviewing your goals on a regular basis, that gives you the flexibility to be able to actually add new goals in as your dreams, your passions change, your desire to earn more money or sell more products or serve more people. Naturally, you will add more in, but equally you need to review and see where you're at and make sure that you get rid of the ones that don't serve you anymore. Okay. Has anybody got any questions so far at all? No. Okay. Thank you. So what I want you to do is turn over your page to the inspiration session. Okay. And here, what I'd like you to do is just relax a little bit. take a deep breath and just really allow yourself to be a little bit creative, if that makes sense. Think about probably one thing that you would really like to achieve in 90 days time. Okay, and this at the moment is really for you, so we're really focusing on you. And if you think about what I've just said, and for those that have just joined that may have missed that live on the call, I was talking about, for me, you are your business. So it all starts, and I work from a place where it starts with you first of all. So here we're talking about things to give you some ideas. You know, did you join the gym this year, or did you say you were going to, or start that Pilates class, or go to football, rugby, cricket, golf, go swimming? The things for you, not your family, just for you. Did you think that you were going to go and book that spa day? Were you going to go and have lunch at your favourite restaurant, or go and have more cake and coffee at your favourite coffee shop? Were you going to invest in a new course that was actually going to benefit you as a person, that's going to help grow your business? Perhaps there's a stack of books in your bedside cupboard or on your bookshelf. I put my hand up. I've got quite a few books that I excitedly ordered earlier this year, and I've probably not even read half of them because I've let life get in the way. I've chosen to reread a few books as well, because sometimes you can't actually read a book and gain a lot from it the first time. You need to go back, get the highlighter out, circle things, make your notes. That's quite a strong thing and a useful thing to do. Were you looking at maybe booking a weekend away for a surprise for your family, or for you, with girlfriends, with boyfriends, you know, your mates, whatever? Is that something that you haven't actually got around to doing? You know, perhaps there's museums and safari parks and zoos, places of interest, historical, you know, fun things that you, again, have been meaning to do, but you just haven't got around to doing them because you've let life get in the way. Write these things down in this section under your name, or just you, or me, I should say, sorry. It's me in your case, not you. And maybe there's a hobby that you used to have. You know, I see a lot of things where on business owner forums and in Facebook groups, and I know in my own community, so many people started the gym, you know, the Pilates class, the yoga, the football, whatever. And equally, they started doing, I don't know, maybe some knitting or artwork or pottery classes. And they've stopped doing them because they've actually thought, oh gosh, I'm too busy with my business. That's not important. And that is so wrong, my lovelies. So wrong. You need to make sure that you're still doing the things that you enjoy doing, the things that are fun, that allow you that space and that time away from your business and that time away from your family and your loved ones. Because again, you're topping up your cup. You know, you're no good if you're half empty or half full. So if you could top up your cup by doing the things that you love and giving yourself that headspace, that downtime, you're going to be so more productive with what you're doing. And as I say, how you're showing up for your family and loved ones and your business, and in your business, for your clients and your customers. Okay, so hopefully you've got some ideas flowing, and obviously you can go back and fill out this and work on this in a lot more detail. So I don't want to spend too much time on each section as such, but hopefully you've got some ideas down for you personally at this time. So underneath that, if you could now think about your family and your loved ones, and obviously family for some people can be 3 children, like one lady on the call joined. I can't see everybody else now because I've actually just focusing the recording on there, but I will actually see. Oh, hello people that have joined. Smiley faces. Now think about your family, and underneath where you've put for yourselves, think about the things that you wanted to do for your family this year. You know, have you had those mini breaks? What about the holidays? What about those day trips? What about the quality time when it's, I mean, it's been horrific down here, the weather in Hampshire today, absolutely raining all day and really windy. You know, days like that at the weekend when the family are around, you know, you don't have to go out spending money. You can literally go on the welly walk in your waterproofs and come back and, you know, have a laugh about how so muddy you are. You know, get the roast dinner on, have some fun playing some games, you know, put the mobile phones away. Don't be sneaking off trying to jump on social media and being distracted. You know, be in the moment with your family, okay, and actually give them the time that they deserve, and give you that time and that energy top up again, you know, that you need, because you've got your own hobbies and passion and your quiet time, but equally those of you that have got children, are married, You know, you might have adopted children or stepchildren, whatever, nieces, nephews, cousins that you spend time with if you don't have your own immediate family. Spending time with these people and having some fun and some downtime, again, is helping you top up your cup, helping you re-energize, helping you actually give your brain that mental relaxation that it needs. Because if we just work ourselves to the bone and then literally are trying to run around doing all the chores, taking the children to their activity things, doing the housework, doing the food shops, and not actually having the fun stuff in our lives, we become very dull and boring. And we will find that we will eventually burn ourselves out. So it's really important to think about some of the things that you've been wanting to do for your family. There might be some things that are free. So if you're lucky enough to live on the edge of places like me in the New Forest and the coast, you've probably got woodlands near you, maybe some beautiful canals or rivers or lakes that you can walk around. Things like that, they're free. You know, when I'm talking about having the opportunity to dream big and think about where you want to take your life and to make sure that you're living the life that you love, you know, and creating that, it doesn't have to always be about money. I personally are somebody that's striving to have financial security and time freedom for me, but that doesn't mean I want to earn millions of pounds, because I'm quite happy to know that my choices that will give me will bring the fulfillment that I need reasonably within my means, and not have, you know, an opportunity to have silly money and go off in a different direction that sometimes that can lead. So that's different for everybody. If you've got the dreaming big, that you want to earn £1 million, brilliant, go for it, good luck to you. You know, you will get there if you actually think consciously about how you're showing up, how are you as a person, how are you spending your time for you, with your family and in your business. You'll be able to break that down and achieve those financial targets. But probably most of us are probably buying around maybe anything from 25 to 30 grand to maybe the 50 grand and maybe even the 100 grand. There's probably not anybody that's overly worried about more than 100 grand at this time, and apologies if I've got that badly wrong. So hopefully you've got some ideas that you can write down, but it's the day trips, the family holidays, maybe the newer car. Again, it doesn't mean a brand new car, because for some people that's totally out of reach. I'll give you an example of that. I've been running around in an older car because I didn't see the reason why I should invest money in a car when actually I work virtually or locally predominantly in my business. So I don't need an all singing, dancing car that's going to cost me a lot more in insurance and running it to sit on my driveway most of the working week. So it seems pointless. So I actually upgraded my car to a newer version of a car for me. So it was about 3-4 years younger than the model that I had before. So to me, I've got a new car, but to some, they're like, we're still old. I'm cool with that. I'm not hung up on that. I don't have to keep up with the Joneses. So again, you'll have your own version of what you wish to spend your money on, and whether it's a brand new or second-hand item as such, that's totally cool. We're all completely different. You might think about, you want a new home for your family. So you might have great aspirations to do a renovation project, add an extension, or it might actually be about saving extra money to go towards a bigger deposit for that next house. It's going to be an upgrade for your family. Equally, you might be living the life of luxury and have older children that have left the nest, as they say, and actually be wanting to downsize. You know, so what are you going to do with that money as a family? What are you going to do with the money that you're saving? What goals do you want to achieve? Some people want to put their children in private school. Some people might want to pay for a tutor, maybe for maths. That's something that I had as a child. My parents chose to invest in me and my sister because we were crap at maths, basically, and we needed some support. So we were very fortunate that my parents were in a position to say, right, we're going to give our girls the best chance that they can have to get the best qualifications they can have, the best job that they can get by doing that. Now, I can bet my bottom dollar that my parents didn't just go, oh, that's fine, sign the check, you know, for how many weeks worth of maths tuition for the pair of us. I'm sure they sat there and looked at their budget and said, okay, can we afford this? And maybe it took them a year or 6 months, I must ask them actually, to actually get to the stage where they could afford to do that. And I bet what they did, they both ran their own businesses. My father had a butcher's shop and my mother was a hairdresser. So I suspect they probably looked at their income and their outgoings and said, okay, can we afford to do it? And maybe they said, actually at this time we can't, without my sister and I knowing. And maybe, you know, another 3 months, another 90 days, they went out of their way to go, okay, how many more clients' hair can I cut? You know, I'm going to upsell rather than just a cut and a blow dry. I'm going to get them to have a perm, it would have been in my mum's day, and a blue rinse, bless her. It would have been things like that. And my dad would have been thinking, okay, you know, I can try and sell a Sunday joint along with the mince and the ham and whatever at the butcher's shop. You know, maybe I like to think that's the way they were thinking, so that they then had the choice to invest in their girl's future. Okay, so hopefully again that gives you a bit of an idea of what you can do, because a lot of people do want to send their children to private school, or they want to be able to think they can go to university and not have this horrific debt hanging over them that they're going to have to pay back. Okay, so hopefully that will give you some ideas. Has anybody got any questions at this point? Can you raise your hand if you've got anything you want me to clarify, anything at this stage? No, we're okay, cool. So if we then move down the page, and again, once you've finished your family section, you know, please feel free to go back. This is about dreaming big. This is about you having no money as an object, no time as an object, no health issues as an object. This is literally, you've got an opportunity to do anything you want for you and for your family, no matter what the cost and however long it takes and wherever in the world it may be. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to really think about dreaming big and making some of these things happen. So if we move down the page again, underneath that, then think about business. So, okay, so where are you in your business right now? And what would you love to do? What one goal can you think of that you would like to achieve by February? Because that will be 90 days time. So what one goal? So again, we're thinking about, you know, is there a brand new service or a brand new product that you want to launch or create? Does that involve investing in you? So perhaps getting a qualification or an accreditation. Or if you're a creative product-based business, perhaps it means that you need to invest in a newer model of a certain tool that you use. One of my clients historically dealt with glass, creating a beautiful can't say it now, glass products. And she was working out of a glorified shed in her garden, and she had a very, very old kiln that she was using. So one of the things that she was desperate for was to get herself a proper workshop and premises where she could run her workshops and show people how to make these amazing glass products, and also a kiln that was going to enable her to fire a lot more products in one go and a lot quicker. Therefore they would come out a lot more professionally, and therefore she was going to earn more money in her business. So is there anything like that you need? Maybe it could be a new computer or a laptop, as simple as that, or having a spare. Maybe you actually would love to be able to go and outsource. Outsourcing is huge, and you've probably heard this from Laura as well. You know, there's a certain time in your business when you need to be really mindful of you wasting your time on tasks that you're absolutely rubbish at. For me, it's accounts. You know, I outsource my accounts, my bookkeeping this coming year. I was going to set it as a goal this year. It just didn't happen due to time and the amount of work that I had on, which is rubbish. And I feel quite frustrated at that. And it's really frustrated me the last few weekends, but thankfully I finally filed it at the weekend. So they're being outsourced next year. Things like social media can be done. There's some amazing VAs around. I think we've got a lovely one on the call, Louise, who can help with all sorts of things. Some of them can help you with your content and your copywriting for blogs, for your website, for social media. Some will actually do the social media scheduling and do the research for you. As I say, you've got bookkeepers, accountants, people that will help you with HR if you've got employees and you're a slightly bigger business than a sole trader. So be mindful about what are you doing, what's your time being spent on in your business, and is there an opportunity to have a dream big moment and think, actually in 2019 I'm going to outsource X, Y and Z, or I'm going to start with just one thing. And at the moment we're really looking to pick out one big goal that we're focusing on. Okay. It could be that you're working from home, so you've stolen a bedroom, or you're in the conservatory, or you might even be in a summer house in the garden, I don't know, where your office is. So again, you know, is your dream for your business to actually have premises, because that would be good, because you're client and customer facing on a high street or above somewhere. Is that going to benefit your business? Or working in like a co-working setup, is that going to benefit your business? Maybe it would be great for your kind of mindset to be amongst other like-minded business owners, where maybe one day a week or I don't know, a couple of times in a month, you actually invest and go and book a hot desk in a co-working space. Because again, I know Laura's like this. She's so passionate about her community. She's run, obviously when she was based in Chester, she's run some amazing networking evenings for the community around there, which were a huge success. And people did business with each other. People were very supportive of each other. So if you actually think about going along to some of these co-working spaces, then in reality, you've got a chance to tap into other people's skill set, and you can skill share and return the favour. You can bounce ideas off of each other, and you're more likely to actually have a more productive business. It's going to be healthier for you and your mindset, knowing that you've got some support around. And you'll probably find, you kind of a business buddy, a business bestie, even a success buddy that you can kind of, you warm to, you resonate with, and they can actually help you in your business. And likewise, you can, return the favour and help them. So have a think about some of the big ideas that you have got for your business going forward into 2019. Think about the things that you didn't achieve in 2018, and just move them forward. Don't dwell on the past. The time has gone, but please learn and kind of question, why didn't I achieve these things? Was it because other good things came on? Or have I been really rubbish and got distracted? Have I been procrastinating? Perhaps I've had lack of confidence maybe, and actually pushing myself forward in my business. And is that because you're scared of success? You're scared of, the good old imposter syndrome, that you don't think you're good enough. So you're not showing up, you're not being visible on social media, because you feel like people are going to judge you. And when you give your spiel, they're going to say, that's worth nothing. What does he know? What does she know? We all get that. We've all been there. I know Laura has, I know I have. And I think it's a case of, again, making sure that you've got a community around you of support. Jump on calls with Laura, message her. I know she's a great advocate of being on the end of a phone, so to speak, to support her community. Just make sure that you are getting some support that you need. And if it's things like confidence and mindset work, go and find yourself a mindset coach. Invest in the areas that are going to help grow you, which means that will help grow your business, and that means it will help give the family all the choices and the dreams that you've got for them, and it will help you earn the kind of money that you want to give you that time freedom. So again, it goes back into spending more quality time doing the things that you love. Okay. So now I'd love you to turn over the page again, and as I say, just feel free to go back over and add to this. Ideally, I've got some great A3 artist sketch pads, which they used to sell at the pound shop locally to me. Have a little look around over Christmas, see if you can get them, because they're a great thing to do. So you can have a whole page for you, a whole page for your family, and a whole page for your business. And then have some fun over Christmas, New Year. If it's a really crappy weather day and you've not got much on, why not have some fun and get them all to dream big and have a big family kind of brainstorming? I call it an inspiration session, because I don't really like brain dump, and because I'm all about inspiring success, inspiration session works for me. But have a think about that, and maybe have, get the coloured pens out, sit on the floor, get some nice drinks and nibbles, bowl of chocolate, favourites, whatever. The Christmas chocolate probably is a good one to eat up. And just have some fun, just sit down and get everyone the opportunity to be creative and get some ideas down. Because again, when you're running your own business, your family don't see you a lot of the time, or they're being palmed off with you on your phone while you're cooking dinner or trying to do the homework, or you're going out on a client appointment, or you're busy creating something. It has an impact on your family and your loved ones. If they can see how passionate you are about your business and your goals moving forward into 2019, and they get a chance to have an input into some of these things that you're going to be able to save up for, because your business is going to grow, because you've set the goals, because you're doing the tasks and you're showing up and you're adding the value, then they are going to get very excited about mummy and daddy getting closer to that dream holiday or that weekend away. Or as I say, it can be small. It doesn't have to be the big things. It can be the day trip to the local zoo or the picnic on the beach or wherever. So just be mindful to get the family involved. And if you stick things up on the wall, again, what I like to do is every year I have a vision board. So all my 90-day goals that I work on, and my kind of year ahead rough plan that's then broken down into the 90 days, that gets printed off in the form of visualization. So I might have quotes, I might have pictures of holidays, even, I wanted a barber. So I literally went on the internet, printed out the barber I wanted when I'm walking my dog, and I cut it, printed it, cut it out, and it's in a massive frame, along with some funky wellies, the holiday I want to go on, the second home that I've got aspirations to buy, having a second home in Spain, everything that's about me and my family and my big dreams. They are all in a frame, and they support my goals for the year, but broken down, as I say, roughly in 90 days. And that's on my bedroom wall. So every morning and every evening I look at that. It's visual. It reminds me of my purpose and my mission and where I'm going in my life. And I don't think you can get stronger than that. When it's up here, it's just up there, and you might remember it, things get forgotten. When it's written down, it becomes obviously real, and visualizing it on a regular basis, then it's in your face. You have no choice but to, take action on it and see it. Okay, so now we're moving on to this next page. It's your journey to success. Okay, so here, as you can see, we've already gone through the you, the family, and the business. The top of the page, you can see you've got that in 3 sections. And we've got the end goal date of the 18th of March 2019. So that's 90 days time. Okay, if we work back a month, then we've obviously got the 18th of February, and we've got the 18th of January, and down at the bottom it's today's date, the 18th of December. So what I want you all to do is, on your workbooks, if you can actually think about what you've written down on the previous page and pick one goal for you that you are going to achieve that's big. I don't want any soft goals here. I don't want any, oh, I'm going to go back to the gym things. I want some big, fat, hairy goals that are going to stretch you as a person. So pick your one that you wrote down that's your scariest one. And if you're looking at me now or thinking, I haven't really got one of those, don't worry. Just pick one and then have a think about what I've just said. This is about stretching yourselves. This is about you growing your business into 2019. We don't play safe. If we play safe, our business is not going to grow, and we're not going to develop as individuals. And that is fact. There will be the other competitors out there that will come along, and they will be having similar dreams about you, about where your business is going and what you want to do. And they will come along, and before you know it, you'll see it on social media and they'll be doing it. So this is about you, not holding back. Okay. So if you can pick one goal for you, one for your family, and one for your business, and at the top of the page, under where it says you, family, business, write down what it is. It can just be like a one word. And on business, what I would suggest is it's a monetary goal. Okay. So again, this is about dreaming big. So rather than saying, oh, I'd like to earn another maybe 5 or 10 grand next year, double it at least. And don't get freaked out by that. I was with a client on a one-to-one planning workshop day, so we went through this exact same principle, okay? And she was at the stage in her business where she was earning, and we're talking about months here, by the way, so obviously that figure at the top, but if you do want to use a monetary example, you'll actually be doing that for 3 months' time. So it's not your annual, so you need to divide it. If you've come up with an annual figure, then just obviously divide that by the 90 days. So anyway, this client, she at the time was bringing in an average of £1,000 a month. And I said to her, double it. And she nearly fell off her chair in the hotel. And when she got back on, I kind of said, look, we're dreaming big here. If we don't dream big, we've got nothing to aim for. You've heard the saying about, I don't know, something to do with shooting stars and hitting the moon, whatever it is. I'm rubbish, can't remember it. But it's about dreaming big. So if you set yourself a huge target, not something that's absolutely ridiculously unrealistic. So maybe you're earning £1,000 a month now, like this lady, and then suddenly you're going, I want to earn £50,000 in 90 days. That's ridiculous, obviously. But be realistic, but stretch yourself. So we worked it out, and we said, okay, well, if you're saying by the end of the 90 days, you're going to be hitting 2 grand, what does that mean? What does that break down to in between today at 1,000 and 90 days time at 2,000? And when she broke it down, so on the screen, you've got obviously those other dates in between now and the 18th of March. If you're dividing that monetary figure by 4, can you see how actually the extra £1,000 isn't so scary? Because you're talking about, what, £250 extra roughly each time to hit the £2,000. So don't be scared of dreaming big and actually potentially doubling what your income is now, because it'd be much better to have that visualized and to be aiming for that than actually play it safe And then once you get to that, you think, oh, well, I hit my goal, don't need to do any more. No, we want you to hit the goal that's scary. And we want you to take the tasks and take the action that's going to get you there. Okay. So hopefully you've all got your you, family and business goals written down, what you want to achieve. So then what we would do, and if you haven't and you've only got one, just focus on one for tonight. It's not a problem at all. We go back down to this bottom section here. And if you can see the cursor, so between today's date here and then the 18th of January, what do you need to do as a person for you? What do you need to do in terms of spending time and the things that you've written down for your family? And what do you need to do for your business in terms of tasks, action in this section? So between now and the 18th of January. And I appreciate Christmas is in between, but let's just put that to one side. We can be realistic, but what we're looking for you to do here is think about how you're going to get closer to that big, fat, hairy goal that you've set under each of these three sections up here for you personally. So it could be, for example, let's give you some examples, hopefully to help you if you're struggling. So for you, maybe it's a health goal, because that's quite an easy one. It's a very common one that comes up, a health or a self-care goal. So let's say it's losing weight. So for example, we would then go back down to this section here. And in here, we'd probably say something along the lines of be more mindful about what we're eating at Christmas. So it would be, buy more fruit and veg, no more crisps, that kind of thing. It could be as simple as that. Okay, so you'd put that over here. So you just write down a few items that are going to help you get closer to that weight loss goal, for example. So it could also be that you're going to start walking to school with the children rather than taking the car, even though it's winter and it's quicker and it's easier. You got a bit lazy this year, you started driving because it's just so much quicker. But actually, we're going to start walking. So again, you put walking in there. Maybe you're drinking wine in the week or beer in the week, or gin and tonic, whatever. Perhaps again, is that a gin and tonic, Louise, that you just drank when I said that? Maybe you want to be mindful that actually replacing your alcoholic beverage in the week, if that's what you do, again, it could be drink more water. So again, you would put that in here, okay? That hopefully gives you an idea of where you're going on that. On the family side, again, you want to be thinking, okay, what am I going to do between now and 18th of January? It's going to be fun for the family. It's going to be me showing up and being present in the moment. It's going to help me top up my cup, re-energize. My family are going to think, yay, mummy, daddy's here, or brother, sister, uncle, aunt, whatever you are with your family set up. They're here, they're present, we're having some fun. So over Christmas, it's an easy one. There's all sorts of, pantomimes you can be going to. There's been nativity, carols. There's probably some fun days out that you can go and do, the nice walks with the family, maybe treat them to have lunch out, anything like that. So again, in the section around the middle, under the U that's at the top, if you put that in this section, what are you actually going to commit to doing to make sure it happens? It's going to make you feel like a better person. It's going to make you feel like a better version of you. Okay. And then for the business, so again, if we use the monetary example, so if under here, if you've got your goal of whatever income, hopefully you've doubled it, or it certainly feels scary, I want you to feel frightened by it. I want you to think, oh my gosh. If you don't, then please add an extra few £100s on it, okay? And go away and do that if you don't feel comfortable tonight on that. But think about that money value, and this is the easy one. This is the main focus that I want to focus on as well for tonight. So it's a monetary value. So for me, if I want to earn a lot more money in my business, then I've got to think about my clients, because I'm a service-based business, so I have clients rather than customers. Product-based businesses have customers and they have products to sell and create. So I need to think, okay, do I have the right services on offer? So I reevaluate. So in here, over this side, under the business kind of side of the page, I would be thinking about reviewing my website to make sure it does, it's a true reflection of where I'm at in my business. And everybody should be doing their website reviews on a regular basis. You should be updating your links, checking they're still working while I'm on that section. And then I would be checking my services and are they all on there? Are they up to date? And then thinking about creating or maybe launching a new service that's based on feedback from the last 90 days that have just gone by, because I know what my clients are buying. I know what my community are asking for, because I show up in my community, I ask questions, and I understand where the knowledge gaps are, to know what sorts of blogs I need to write, what kind of social media posts I need to be putting out there to resonate with my ideal audience, who hopefully, when the timing's right, will buy from me. So these are the kind of things I will be putting in here. I'll be putting website review, social media, blogs, my LinkedIn profile. Again, making sure that I'm connecting with at least 10 new people a week as a minimum. Some say a day. I'm a bit more realistic. Most of us work on our business 1 day a week, and that might be split an hour here or there. But if we're not, we should be working on our business at least 1 day a week. Mine is Fridays. So I try and go on to LinkedIn and think about who I can connect with. Who's going to be the right new connection for me. That connection could be somebody that actually is going to add value to me and support me. It's not always about me trying to get clients. It's actually about connecting with the right people to help me grow my business and help me become a better version of myself. So I would have that written down under here. I think networking, again, if you're not out there networking on a regular basis, you're missing a trick, because people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And the only way that you can actually build that properly is face to face. And that means you've got to be in a room. It's great having things like Zoom and Skype and FaceTime. If you use that, it's probably not great professionalism look to use FaceTime, but hopefully Zoom or Skype, that's okay. But you cannot beat actually going networking. And a recommendation that I've just given to my clients this week is for them all going into next year is, okay, you might belong to at least one group, if not two, but who are you going to try next year? You're allowed to go networking twice as a guest before you actually have to join as a member. Some of them are free, some of them you have to pay, but you don't actually have to be a member to go along twice. Become a networking tart, which is good old Amanda Johnson's saying, my old VA coach a few years ago. Go and be a networking tart. So go along, show up, see how the room is. Are they your kind of people? Do you resonate with them? Do you think there could be some people in there that are going to support your business by referring you? It's not all, again, about are your ideal clients in that room. A lot of people teach you, and I think in my early business years, I was taught that actually only go networking where your ideal clients are. And I actually think that's hugely wrong, a grave mistake, bad advice in my personal opinion, because so many people actually are great referrers and recommenders. So if you're showing up regularly every single month or every couple of weeks to whatever the networking group is, and you're building that know, like, and trust, you're being that listener, you're adding value to them and listening to them and connecting them with people in your community, or recommending, a great website or a great book to read. It can be simple things, even at restaurants, whatever book. They're going to value you. They're going to see you as that lovely, supportive, kind person that shows up every month or every other week or every week. But if you're not doing that, you're missing a huge trick. So networking, to me, should be taking up a fair amount of your business time. And you can do online networking, don't get me wrong. There's some great Facebook groups where you can add your value, you can be supportive, you can ask questions. But again, I would say with Facebook groups, if you're not actually in a group that's either adding value to you because you're learning from it, or you're in there because you're adding value and therefore it's your potential pool, your pond to fish in as such, your prospective clients might be in there or customers, then why on earth are you in that Facebook group? Again, it's a great time over the Christmas between now and sort of the 18th of January to be reviewing your networking groups. Do you want to join them again this year? The Facebook groups you're in, should you be in them? Are you adding value or getting value? If you're not, just come out of them. Find some new ones if you feel the desire. If your business is a great business that's going to be finding clients and supporting clients online in Facebook groups, great. But actually, if your ideal clients aren't on Facebook, get on LinkedIn. I actually would highly recommend everybody's on LinkedIn. It's such a great platform for connecting and finding the right people and the ones that will connect and refer you. Okay. So other business ideas in there could be, again, researching for that, maybe that course or accreditation that you might want to put yourself through. It could be researching prices maybe for the course maybe, or a new Mac, a new laptop, anything like that that's going to help grow your business. So these are all the tasks that you need to be doing. There'll also be things like your bookkeeping. Even if you've got an accountant already, the likelihood is you're still inputting the basic information for them into some sort of spreadsheet, or you're uploading maybe receipts, scanning them, uploading them maybe to like a Dropbox thing ready for them. There's probably some level of admin you're still having to do. So again, are you doing that every month? Or is it something like me, you're guilty of, that you end up going, oh my gosh, I've got the whole frigging years to do. Big mistake. Don't ever do that again. Normally I do it monthly. Worst year ever this year. But if you can put it in here, again, to make sure that you're being accountable, that is going to help you get closer to your financial goal. All that I've just shared under the business section will all help you grow your business and actually get you closer to that financial goal that you want to hit. Okay, so I don't think there's much more I want to say on that. So I'm just going to double check my notes there to make sure I've copied everything there. Yeah, I have. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen now and have you all back. So can I ask you if you've got any questions? I'm just going to unmute everybody. Nice to see you all. Hello. Sorry you missed me in my intro at the start, some of you. I was just saying that I was really privileged that Laura let me come on today, and I was really disappointed that she wasn't here to be my second in command, keeping me on track. But has anybody got any questions? Elizabeth, I'll start with you because you're in my top left corner. Is there anything that sprung to mind that I've gone through that you want any clarity on? Has it given you any ideas, something that you think, gosh, this is what I'm going to focus on now?
Well, it's more interesting. I've got more things on my me and family to-do list than my business list. But
okay,
whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. But there you go.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. One of the biggest things that's come out of the planning workshops that I've been running down here in Hampshire is that everybody's really failing on their self-care. Literally, everybody's list on the you stuff was much bigger. The family stuff got quite emotional. We had a tissue box out in two out of 3 sessions, because when people realised that they could actually dream big and money and time was no object, some of them had family abroad that live abroad they haven't seen for years. They just have to do Zoom and Skype. When they realised actually by taking on maybe 1 extra client a month and putting that money in a savings fund towards a flight to Australia, they could go and see their sister that hadn't seen for about 20 years, emotional wreck in the room. So it's not unusual that a lot of, particularly women, I think, have sacrificed the self-care if they've got families, because you're so busy juggling your business and your children, actually you neglect yourself. And I'd love to hear, Ian, isn't it? View. Yeah, I'd love to hear your view on that, because I'm being a bit sexist there, and I apologise. But I work mainly with women, Ian.
Yeah, that's okay.
Are men crap at self-care, or are they quite good at it?
Probably crap, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. So did you write quite a lot down on your you list?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah. There's. I used to be like really into cycling and fitness, but I've like let myself go the last few months. So definitely getting back into that. Yeah.
Have you got a bit of a lager or beer pouch going on?
A little bit. Winter insulation. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah. Good investment.
Yeah. So definitely like getting back into that and enjoying exercise, and I've been like, I don't know, I've always pushed myself cycling and just kind of fell out of love with it because I was trying to be competitive. So just taking it back to the basics and just going out and just enjoying it for what it is.
Yes, yeah, it's a change of mindset, isn't it? Kind of reverse psychology. That's great that you're recognising that. So when are you going to start cycling? Are you going to start this weekend?
It depends on the weather, see.
Yeah, today it would have been horrific. I was in full waterproofs with my dog and we still got drenched somehow.
Yeah.
Oh bless. Okay, that's good then. Okay, thank you. Well, no, it's good to know that it's not just us women that are rubbish at self-care. Bless. Sorry, Elizabeth, go back to you. Was there, so on the family, what was your big, if you'd like to share it, you don't have to, but is there something you'd like to share on your family list that's quite big and exciting?
I've only got, they're quite simple things, really. I want to get Jack to learn how to ride a bike.
Okay.
Properly,
Ian.
without stabilizers on. There you go. I'll sign him up.
I think you should.
There you go.
A new sideline for you, Ian, teaching children to ride their bike.
Yeah, and my the twins are struggling to learn their sounds, so I want to sort of do something with that and get them to at least know all of their initial sounds by sort of the end of the next half term. So they're not really big goals, but you know, for Jack and Lee and Ryan, I suppose they would be.
Yeah, not for mummy.
No.
Bless. Oh, okay, that's great. But go away and work on those. You know, you've got time to. So just have a think about what else you could add to those. What about one business one? What biggest thing on the business side did you pick up on?
I would like to have regular orders off my website is what my sort of main goal is, rather than me having to be on, because I find to get orders off Facebook, you've got to put an awful lot of time in to get it. You know, you've got to be looking at the wedding groups I'm in, and you know, somebody might put, you know, I'm looking for wedding invitations, then you've got to post underneath that, and then there might be another one, and you know, so, and nothing may come of that, but I need to sort my you know, if people are searching for personalized wedding invitations and things, for my page to come up and things like that, really. So it's more, I want people to be looking for me rather than me sort of looking for them.
Okay. So how to do that, a suggestion for you, my advice would be, you've got to be showing up and adding more value on your own page, because then you will be, naturally, the algorithms, you're going to appear more. So when people are searching for you, they will find you. But actually, if you're adding value and you're seen as the go-to in your industry, then people are naturally going to start following you. And when the timing's right, then they're obviously going to buy from you. So you need to actually probably take some time to actually look at about what you're doing yourself for your own marketing for your business. So it's great hanging around in groups, but absolutely, it's so time consuming waiting for the right post to be able to jump on. And all you're doing is competing then with so many other people that are also going, me, because that's kind of what happens, where you can do that, obviously, and there's no wrong reason to not do that. But actually, if you start focusing, producing higher level of regular content on your own social media platform, and you know, showing some personal side to Elizabeth and the family, again, showing you're a human being. It's not just about your business, it's about the 80-20. So 80% of it should be adding value, showing who you are, and a little bit about your family to show kind of the person behind the brand. And then 20% is actually selling. So you can blatantly sell on your own pages 20% of the time. 80% should be that other mix. You can start being a little bit creative about how you're selling yourself and adding the value and sharing helpful articles, other people's blogs, other people's pages that aren't competition but actually complement your business. Then I would, if I was getting married, I'd be looking and going, oh wow, you're so helpful, she's always sharing other things, it's always so useful. And obviously you've only got a limited time period for people, when they, you know, well, some might be planning 2 years in advance, but a lot of people seem to be running shorter time spans from what I gather on social media these days. So have a think about that. That would be my advice for you, rather than spending too much time trawling and hanging out in the Facebook groups, because that must be quite demoralizing sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, great,
thank you. Ian, should we go back to you actually, because we kind of half started with you, so should we go back to you on I don't know whether you have any family, as in immediate family, children, or families? Or...
No, just the wife.
Just the wife.
Yeah.
Wife.
That's family.
I thought, like, we used to go out like to restaurants and stuff quite a lot, so definitely like start doing that again.
Brilliant.
And
the good old date nights coming back, yay.
Yeah. And no phone days I've put as well, so
yes,
or no phone afternoon, evening, whatever. So
Yeah,
leaving
so
it
you can be in
upstairs
the
or whatever.
moment with her and actually have quality
Yeah,
conversations rather than grunting and looking at your phone half the
yeah,
time.
yeah. And that's it. Like we both sit here, and then one will go on the phone, and then
Yeah,
I always feel like, oh, because she's on the phone, I can go on my phone.
yeah, it's like
So
permission, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Well, I like that. And then what about business-wise? Is there something I don't know what you're doing? Sorry.
Yeah, it's like a food delivery business. So I'm still in the early stages. So getting my first clients is definitely like the big goal.
Okay.
And I have like quite recently gone to networking events and things. So
Brilliant. Well
just
done.
keep doing that more as well.
Yes.
And again, like the content creation, maybe doing something like a podcast or a blog writing, things like that. So
Yes.
that's something that I've looked at doing as well.
Okay, that's good. You've also got a creative streak in there. Think about guest blogs as well. That's what I always say. You know, we're very aware that we should be doing blogging and creating content, but actually a real easy, cheap way is to take the pressure off ourselves, not having to do it every single time. Is invite other people that are relevant. So again, you could do that, Elizabeth, with the wedding industry. You know, if you get guest people coming in that's relevant to your products or your services, it's a new spin. You then get their audience involved. They're likely to get followers for your own social media then as well. So it's a great way to go forward, and it just takes the pressure off you, I think, as well. So excellent. Sounds good. Thank you. Lisa.
Hi.
I don't know you. I haven't met you before, have I? Because I've met some of the others, I think, on historical webinars in Laura's community. So
Yeah, no, I don't think we have met before.
yeah.
So nice to meet you. I have, well, in terms of the business,
Yes.
I've got two small children, and
Okay.
I find I run baby classes for people. So I find that I have very, very little time without the kids when I'm doing because I do my classes, and apart from that, I'm looking after children. So I find I have very little time. So I'm thinking maybe I need to think about putting them perhaps into preschool for an extra morning a week, to give me time to just focus on the business.
Yeah.
And then the rest of my time with them will be more quality time.
Yes.
And I want to, in terms of the 90, certainly the 1st for January, I would like to get on top of things, get on top of my accounts and stuff. Because when you said like you weren't very good at accounts and stuff, I'm like, oh God, yeah, I've not done them for months. You know, I would like to, for January, just try and get on top of things fully. I've also been doing the content course with Laura. So I would like to, get that finished and boxed off and just have my 90 days content to, get out there all the time. And Laura's been talking to me a lot about setting up a group up. So like a members group. And I have to be honest, like it's taken me a long time to see the value in that, because I've just seen it as more time consuming for me when I don't have the extra time.
No.
But now I'm seeing it as actually, if I do that, then yes, it is time consuming, but it's about retention rather than finding new people for my classes all the time. So yeah, so certainly in January, I want to, get on top of admin, that kind of stuff, just get on top of everything and set a group up. So I work on keeping my customers rather than chasing new people.
Brilliant.
And think about my time management more, because I do think if I kind of got rid of the kids, so to speak, for just an extra morning or something a week, then my time with them would actually be so much more quality, rather than me I could focus on them rather than focusing on the business all the time.
Yeah, sounds good. Definitely, if you're able to take that on, to be able to, invest in an extra half a day,
yeah,
it's going to give you half a day on your business. And then if you can be really structured on how you then spend that half day, literally have time chunks of the priorities. Don't get distracted, you know, mobile phone off, don't answer the phone, no one's allowed to knock on the door, you ignore them, that kind of thing. And you'll be really focused and driven to make sure you get the results. Again, for you, probably scheduling some social media things will be a time saver for you. The content course that you're doing with Laura is probably perfect to kind of tie all that up. Covers how you then get that out there, and maybe sourcing it as well. That might be a consideration for you, so that you're, you know, focusing on the time that you've got to do what you're good at and being mum, and actually someone else is taking care of your social media. Perhaps that can be a longer term goal, maybe for 2020.
Yeah, as when it comes to bigger goals, because I would like to expand a lot more and stuff. When it comes to bigger goals, I'm aiming for more like September next year once they're both in school. Because once they're both in school, that's it. I can go for it.
I can relate, I can tell.
Yeah. So kind of until then, it's about, I want to just make sure all my classes are filled and that I get that quality time with them as well. Because I think there's always too much in my head. You know, I carry everything around in my head. I need to get things on paper and things.
Get them down. Get yourself a nice book, and then write all your ideas down so that they're out of here and they're down here. And then you can then go through the ideas and then put them into the 90-day goals that we've just worked on. And I apologise. I realised I've forgotten to kind of finish. I was conscious I wanted to get back to see the faces, make sure there was no questions in the chat box and stuff. Where we did the whole bottom section, so we've done the me, you, and the family. Sorry, no, I'll say that again. You've done the me, family, and the business. Obviously, for you all the tasks that you write down in there are then going to be repeated in the section above and the one above until you hit the goal. That makes sense, because all you're working on, all the tasks that you need to do and the action you're taking is repeated. Does that make sense? So we didn't fill those other boxes in because actually it's just a duplication, because me checking my website every month, going networking every month, doing my social media, writing my blog for the business example, I'm doing that every month. The only difference there might be is if there was a conference, something to do with, you know, for my own business that I was going to, that might appear only in February, but it wouldn't be in January or December or March, if that makes sense, because it's only once a year. So that's that sort of thing you would add in as an extra. If under the family section, if you're looking at taking the children away in half term, that's February, isn't it? It's a February half term. So obviously that holiday, or that little weekend break, or that day trip, you would plan in and write down under the family section in February, because that's when it's going to happen. It's not going to happen in January, unless there was something focused on getting more money. If it was a mini holiday, a week's holiday, you might be doing more activity towards that. The actual goal would be in February, because that's when it's happening. So sorry, I apologise, I didn't clarify that. I was so keen to see who was on. So yeah, okay, thank you, Lisa. Was there just one thing, was there something for you, because you've kind of mentioned sort of about family a bit and business, but what about you?
For me, I started running a couple of months ago. I'm so unfit, you know, but I started running a couple of months ago, and I've signed up to a 10K in March.
Oh, well done.
Just to give me motivation, make sure I keep on going. But I'm only finding I'm getting time to go out once a week. So what I want to do is make sure I get out 2-3 times a week, you know, make sure that I put that time aside, that hour aside, you know, in an evening or what have you, and I make sure I get out there.
Good.
So that's going to be my main priority. To reach that goal.
Get it in the diary, you know, all the tasks that you're written down on the 90-day goal section, you then transfer all of those into your diary, and whether it's something that you do once a week. So like I was saying, the bookkeeping example for me, Friday is the day that I work on my business, as I mentioned earlier. So going forward, because I'm not having a frigging another counting year like this year, every Friday from now on, I'm actually going to sit there and do the week's expenditure, the income and what I've spent, the outgoings, and put them in my spreadsheet, and, you know, get all the receipts together and put them in my little folder, so that it's all nice and tidy for my accountant when I outsource it. So again, if you do that, you know, get it written down and booked in your diary, then it will happen. The kind of like non-negotiables, along with your self-care. You know, the first thing I do is I put my self-care in my diary. the family stuff, and then I look to see what's happening on my business for me, like the networking events, that kind of thing. And then it's the client time, you know, then I've got left, how much space have I got to serve a client? And I know a lot of people are like, hang on a minute, how can you do that because of your money? But again, I go back to you or your business, and if you're not looking after you and showing and being the best version of you for your family, you can't do that for your business. Your business isn't actually going to grow in the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Louise, hello.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Your familiar face.
Okay.
I see your Santa stop sign out the back as well. In your window.
Oh yeah. Move it
Oh,
on,
yeah. Oh, and your tree. Oh, lovely. Actually, I think I saw that on social media.
Probably.
Yeah. How are you? You okay?
I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, it's the biggest thing I've taken from that is the self-care, because I think it's the time of year as well. It's really hard, and I feel at the moment, I feel at the moment the only time I'm getting for myself is when I go to bed at night. I go to sleep.
Oh, dear.
Hence the eye, you know, like this.
Honestly, don't worry. The Wi-Fi's a bit dodgy. You're all right.
So that's going to start in January. Like Ian said.
What thing do you want to do for that? What's your biggest thing from self-care?
Well, like Ian said, with the winter insulation, I think I've still got that from last Christmas. It hung around for the summer. So yeah, I've been looking into joining my local running group, and I'm going to do that in January. I've already got a friend that's going to do it with me, so we're going to do it together. Yeah, encourage each other. Yeah, so twice a week, hopefully, just get out and just, because it's good, isn't it? It's good for the soul, and just clear your head, and
all the endorphins and everything. It just gives you that time just to kind of refocus and re-energize, and getting out in the fresh air, and you know, having a conversation with somebody if you're able to, without going when you first start off. Don't start running and then try and have a conversation. It won't work. Try the power walk first and break yourself gently, because you'll keep over.
Oxygen.
Yeah, exactly. But it's amazing. It just kind of gives you that break, and then when you come back, you're like ready to kind of look at it with a fresh, you know, pair of eyes almost, isn't it? And I think again, particularly when we get bogged down in a task like the accounting side that I hate, again, you know, I'm going to be breaking that up, because I know if I spend too much of a solid time on it, I will just get bored and start looking for other things to do. Where if I go, right, it's only an hour every Friday, that's achievable. I'm not going to get bored. Well, I probably will, but it won't be as bad. I'll be mindful of that as well. Okay, great. And what about the family side? Have you got some amazing holiday or something like that?
Well, we've just booked a holiday this weekend, actually. So we're going to France for 2 weeks in the summer. So it'll be working to pay that off.
Yes. How many clients do I need divided by? Yeah, you know the calculation.
So that's, I mean, this year kind of my goal was to take the kids to Lapland, and we did that. So that's kind of, I've done that one. So it's just we didn't have the summer holiday though, because of it was so expensive to go to Lapland. So that's my goal for now. Next year is let's get a nice summer holiday, and
and then the year after you can look at a winter and a summer holiday.
Into both of them in one go. That's a good idea. Yeah, because the kids are dying to do skiing now after that. So
gosh,
that'd be a good idea. Yeah.
Oh, you set yourself up for a fall now.
I'll definitely have to get fit before that.
Well, no, because you'll have more cushioning if you fall over, won't you?
Don't encourage me not to go running.
Sorry, I didn't mean that really. What about you for your business then?
So business, well, I've got quite big goals for next year, because I want to take on some associates, and I want to take on clients just to pass out to associates. But Hannah, my youngest, she started full-time school in September just gone, and I was supposed to kind of be on my way to that now, and it's December, and I don't know how that's happened. No, I've not done anything. I've not done anything about growing my business, so I've got to focus on that.
Yeah. Well, take stock. Hopefully, maybe you can steal some time if your husband's around to look after the children, or put them in front of a movie for a couple of hours and go and take yourself away. And you look at, you know, the biggest thing as well that I'd recommend everybody does is, you know, what's worked this year, what's worked in 2018. Maybe if you did set goals, some people haven't. It's new, you know, goal setting's new to them. You know, what's worked, what hasn't. and just kind of build on the good things. Don't dwell too much on the negative, but learn the lesson. If it's a blatant fail that there's no way it's going to work, even if you tweak it slightly, then write it off. Think of a new way of approaching it. Use your success buddies and your accountability people and your kind of community, your Facebook group, Laura, and ask for advice on situations that didn't work that you thought would, and you kind of feel like, well, I don't want to give up, but it didn't work, so how do I go around this? Ask the community for ideas, because some people have got some brilliant support suggestions when you kind of do that in groups. So use that time and really evaluate where you are and what you want to do going into 2019. You'll do it. We must have a call in the new year, because I'd love to hear where you are with your business and stuff. It's been ages.
That'd be nice.
So was there anything else you wanted to say, Louise?
No, I think that was it. No, that was just it was really good timing, actually, ready to just focus.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, great. So has anybody got any questions before we end the call? Hopefully that was useful for everybody, and you can, you've got a blueprint now, because if you look at that process, it's really simple. It's about, you, your family, your business, what do you want to achieve, and how you're going to get there from here today to 90 days time. And then you can also think about the longer term goals for next year beyond that. Just put them on a little list. And then probably when you get to 60 days, start looking back at what's working, what isn't. Are you still on track? Do you still need some of the goals that you've written down? Are they still serving you, as I mentioned earlier? Don't be afraid to get rid of the ones that aren't. And then you can start bringing in the new goals, the ones that you've put on your kind of park it for now list. And I think sometimes as well, we set these goals and we're like all excited, we're all focused, and we get so far and then we're like, okay, this isn't working. So again, in your diary, make sure you've got a review time, probably once a month, just to take stock, stop and smell the roses, see where you are, what's working, build on that. This is brilliant, that's rubbish, where am I going to go, what am I trying? And just be constantly evolving, because we are, as business owners, we're constantly evolving and moving forward. And I think the ones, you showing up today, again, well done, because the ones that are showing up and investing in themselves, like you are with Laura, are the ones that businesses are going to be successful. The ones that are sitting at home on the couch with their businesses wondering why it's doing badly, don't invest in themselves, don't go networking, aren't part of a community, aren't there asking questions and asking for support, aren't going to have a very successful 2019. So well done to all of you. Thank you for showing up tonight, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and thank you again, Laura. We've missed you, obviously, but I know you're having a ball in Australia. Thank you for the opportunity to share this with your community, and if anybody's got any questions after, Laura can tell you how to get in contact with me. Some of you follow me on social media already. I'm obviously Clare Farthing, coach and mentor, and my tagline is Inspiring Success. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Claire.
You're welcome. I'm hitting the stop recording